We were looking for a house, from the outskirts of Nairobi. We wanted a place where we kind of, it's not, some greenery, with, get out of town a bit so that every time when we come back on Monday, we are a bit refreshed and energized. And kind of settled on this, and I convinced my wife. Told her I've seen some houses very far in Athi River, but we'll just have to, we'll drive a bit more. And we've lived in it for about 6 years. And then about 2 weeks back, on 31st of May, this was written on the wall. It not only shocked us, for us, it's very shocking because when we were buying the house, we did all the due diligence, NEMA's certificates. The developer assured us, because we were at the same, the view of the river was a fairly good view we wanted to have. And we actually asked, are we on the river bank? Can we be affected by the river when it swells? And they told us no. We have built, and we've built in a way that the estate cannot flood. So then, we made the decision to take the houses that's right at the end. So we never imagined that the river will one day, now become part of the house.
Though from a distance, phase 1 of Greenpark Estate appears normal and dry, 3 months ago it was a totally different picture because the flood waters were so high that even where I stand, it was a lake of water stretching all the way to the buildings.
The water was reaching here. And I think it's because the water was coming in slowly, and by the time it hits every other room, so the levels in this room was not as high. Everything was submerged. Even this decoder, if you can see, it was just cleaned inside, dried, so that we can use it.
We're lucky enough we got a very pleasant tenant who, even despite all this, after the water came through, didn't move out because they knew it was not our fault, and they sympathized with our situation.
It is a risk for you to open that fridge. It will give a funny stench. We have never used it. The compressor died. What I have to deal with is spoiled food. And they already have written remove. And it shocked me. I was like, what is this? So I introduced myself. I asked him, okay, so what's your name? What is this? And he says, we are from the water resources management. We have come to do what we must do. You need to remove this house, and if you don't remove it, we are going to come and remove it, and if we remove it, it will be at your cost. So I was like, okay, why? And my first instinct was, of course, to call my landlord.
Was there any clearance from WARMA?
When we were buying, we assumed that all statutory bodies, WARMA, NEMA, Machakos physical planning, have approved this development, because when you buy from a site plan. It has different houses sitting on different areas.
As a father, as a husband, I don't feel like my family is safe. I don't feel like my family is protected. I feel my family has been exposed by all this, because when I bought into this development, I bought into a promise of security, a promise of peaceable living. But as it is right now, if it rains at night, I'm not getting that peaceable living. The kids keep asking me, when are we moving? They are obviously visibly disturbed, and they are wondering, where are we moving? What's happening to our house? Why is our house being demolished? What happened to this land? Is the river going to flood again? Those are the kind of questions we keep getting from our children.
Just trying to make a living, a decent living. My children, the firstborn is 7 and the secondborn is 5.5. They were born here, so this is home for them. Yes.
What do they say?
They just know the houses are being demolished, and we have had to sit down with them and explain to them that the house is no longer going to be there based on what we've been told. And they feel bad about it. They love playing football out here. They love riding their bikes outside. But now that he's going to, in a few days, it's not going to be there for them. And we don't know, as of now, where we're moving to. It's not easy to find a place like this anyway. And it's not easy to just find a place you can say, this is going to be home so fast.
Not so okay. But I'm still feeling not well.
Okay.
Yes.
We are keeping you in our prayers.
Thank you very much. I'll also pray for myself. When I came to the house and saw something on the wall written by Water Resource Authority, I collapsed and then became unconscious. I'm so lucky because I'd left the doors open when I was getting into the house. When I gained consciousness, I found myself at Nairobi West Hospital. I got another shocking bill of about 100,000. I was thinking of how I was going to get the 100,000 with my age.
We thought we have bought something that is legal. Most of us, including ourselves, are on mortgages, bank mortgages. So it's really a big surprise that we're even paying so much money for nothing really, for a waterbed, for a riverbank.
Roughly about 20 million right now. Yeah.
How much did you buy it?
When I bought it roughly 8.5 years ago, it was at about 5 million.
5 million.
Yeah, and you see I've taken a mortgage on the property, so of course there are interests to be paid and the like.
We still have a mortgage, and so we pay about 80,000 a month, and so of course the mortgage will still stand in as much as they will demolish the house. We'll still have to continue paying mortgage, and we still have to top up by paying rent somewhere else.
I want my investment restored. I would like to be able to guarantee my family that they have a roof over their heads.
All we want to do is for us to be restituted, for the developer to compensate us for our investment.
So far, I have not seen any response, and that worries me, because when I bought this property in good faith, at that time, we could talk. Now no one is approaching me, so that is disturbing.
We engaged a lawyer who's jointly representing all the affected households, and they have not responded to the lawyer.
But in its response to the Water Resources Authority, Superior Homes has denied encroaching the riparian reserve as claimed, saying that independent survey shows a buffer of 2.6 meters from the riparian reserve to the homes. Superior Homes adding that the masonry boundary is between 25 to 30 meters from the riverbank and that the Water Resources Authority must revise their orders, while also consoling the occupants of the houses that no single house will be demolished.
It's very heartbreaking, it's stressful, and right now we have to think of where are we going now that we only have 5 more days to go before they come and demolish the houses.
So from Friday, I don't know where I'm going to be. So that shock is still stressing me.
It's everyone's dream to own a home, at least at some point in their life, to bring up their family. But when you are told that what you have all along called home can no longer be your home, dreams get shattered. From then on, where do dreams go? Sam Gituko, Citizen TV, Greenpark Estate, Athi River, Machakos County.